All right, y'all won't believe who I have sitting next to me today. A few words to describe her: disciplined, fearless, tenacious, resilient, humble, artistic, professional, and stylish. After being inspired from witnessing her mother's beauty routines as a child, this extremely talented and multifaceted makeup artist picked up her first brush at the age of 12. She jumped into the tumultuous waters of entrepreneurship right after high school, all the while pursuing her passion to become a staple in the beauty industry. Last year, she announced the opening of her second salon suite, Divine Glam Studios, located in Southfield, Michigan. She ensures every single client leaves her chair feeling like the best version of themselves. There's no wonder why her roster includes high-profile celebrities like Kate Michelle, Detroit's own Kash Doll, B. Simone, Ariana Fletcher, Jayda Cheaves, Bernice Burgos, and we can't forget about one of America's favorite Olympic gold medalists, Simone Biles. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you all to the one and only Daylay Twanae. Her Q11 Photography clients also know her as GlamByDay. What's up, Daylay?
Hi, that was such a good intro. Oh my gosh, that was so good. I'm so happy to be here.
No problem. We happy to have you. We talked like last year. It might have been around.
Winter,
It was winter. It
November-ish.
was Novemberish.
It was November.
So we talking about like what 6 months, 5, 6 months later, and we finally here, right? So I'm appreciative. I'm a big fan of your work. I had a chance to look through all of your stuff, to look at even some of your YouTube videos, some of your vlogs. One of the things that I was fascinated with the most is how many places you travel to outside the country. We talking, and I can't pronounce all of these places because we don't go nowhere like that. Me and my wife, we stay domestic. But the Aruba, that's one, right? Saint Lucia, am I pronouncing that right? Turks and Caicos, Hawaii. I think you went to Tokyo too.
I did go to Tokyo as well. Yes.
How was that
Yes.
experience?
Tokyo was very different. I would love to go back. I went for 10 days. This was September of last year, actually. And it was just a different experience. I feel like out of all the countries I visited, this was the most different. It was just different. I felt like I didn't see any black people around. Like I didn't see anybody that looked like me. So that really stood out to me. They were amazed to see me as well. Like they were looking like, oh my gosh, because a lot of these people may have never left Asia. So to see an African American in the flesh, I feel like they were amazed at me, same as I was amazed at them. And it was a really good experience. I plan on going back sometime this summer.
You were going to like the convenience store and everything, so you interacted with a lot of the people there, the locals.
Not really interacted, but it was super safe. So I would leave out the Airbnb, walk to 7-Eleven. Their 7-Eleven was like a full-blown grocery store. So you can get a lot of different foods, noodles, stuff to warm up. And they also have fresh fruits and vegetables. So I enjoyed it.
Let's go back to where you grew up, right? Where did you grow up? Were you born and raised in Detroit?
Yes, so I was born and raised on the west side of Detroit on Schoolcraft and St. Mary's. That was the exact street. And actually a couple blocks from Detroit Roller Wheels. I'm pretty sure you may be familiar with that. But that's where I grew up until I was 15. And my second year of high school is when we moved out to Farmington Hills and I went to Farmington High. But yes, I am a West Side Detroit native for sure.
You said off Schoolcraft, right?
Yes.
Okay, describe that household to me. Parents, siblings. Just describe everything that you can remember about that environment.
So we lived in a colonial home. My parents were married. And it also was just me and my brother. Me and my brother are 3 years apart. He's like my best friend now. When we were kids, it wasn't that vibe. But we have grown really, really close since we've become adults. Growing up on Schoolcraft, it just felt so warm, so safe, full of love, just full of, as a kid, I just feel like you're supposed to have a safe space at home. You're supposed to enjoy life, not really worry about anything. My dad was a police officer. He took really good care of his family, and we just felt good. So I had a really good childhood, I should say.
So you say you and your brother's relationship, it got better as you guys got older, right? So when you were younger, and you were 3 years older than him, right?
Correct.
So was it some strain on the relationship because you kind of acted as a second mother to him to a degree? Because that's kind of how it is with me and my sister, who's 5 years older. And then once we got grown and the relationship started to flourish a little more. But
Better.
when I was younger,
Was
she
a
was
no.
always in my way.
Yeah, it's a no. But yes, I think I've always had this motherly role to him in his life, me being the oldest. And then also given that we are the opposite sex, I feel
I
like,
see what you're saying.
yes, I feel like the being the overseer was just something I naturally took on with him. And also, he trusted me a lot. You know, he will always ask my opinion, see what I think, watch what I did as well. So I did naturally take that role on. When we got older, high school is when we really started to create this bond that was unmatched, because going to school in Farmington versus Detroit, it was a culture shock for the both of us. I started in 10th grade, well, 10th going on 11. He started in 9th grade. So in that environment, we kind of only had each other. It's a lot of different races, Caucasians, Africans, Asians, Indians.
Melting pot situation.
Thank you. And that was the first time we've ever been in that situation. So that caused for us to really lean on each other. And I feel like that's where I seen the turn in our relationship.
What are some things you admire about your mother? And then I want you to follow up that with your dad.
So for my mom, I admire her strength. I feel like she has always put us first as kids. Now that I'm an adult and I'm able to prioritize and sacrifice things, I understand the importance of being able to do those things. Granted, I don't have any kids yet, but just seeing how she put us first before her career, it just really resembles a lot of strength to me. As far as my dad, I feel like he instilled a lot of foreshadowing in life. I think that due to his experiences of being in the military, being a police officer, he just really tried to instill like, this is going to happen. That is going to happen. You may look at me today and not believe it, but like later on down the line, you're going to experience these things and see these things. So I feel like I definitely picked up the foreshadowing of like, this is what I feel like life is going to be about. And he wasn't wrong.
Wow. And you said your mother sacrificed her career or her passion. She like put
Yes.
you guys above that. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so my mom, she really loves kids. She loves babies. She always wanted a daycare, and she also was into the teaching field as well. So I feel like just her having to watch after two kids that's kind of back to back took her away from work. My dad kind of felt more comfortable with her being a stay-at-home mom versus a traditional working mom. So her doing that to make sure we was well taken care of, to make sure we were safe, to make sure we had help with our homework, and just picking up in areas where my dad wasn't able to be available. I feel like that was the huge sacrifice that I noticed.
Was there any lessons that your parents gave you when you were younger that you didn't agree with at the time, and then you got older and life kind of hit you and you were like, man, they were right?
I feel like the biggest lesson, and I can hear it now, is like, these years gonna fly by. These years gonna fly by. And honestly, when you're younger, a kid, a teenager, even in like your early 20s, you just like, oh, I'm only 18. I'm only 19. I got life ahead of me. It's okay. But now that I'm 31, yeah, those years flew by for sure.
So you started doing your own makeup in the 10th grade, right?
Yes.
But you were inspired by your mother, as you know, we alluded to in the intro. So what about that process? What about watching her inspired you to want to do that for yourself? What intrigued you about that process?
So when she did decide to go back to work, she was a preschool teacher. So she would do her makeup for work. She would more so do eyeliner. I did see her put on some blush, maybe a little face coverage, but it was very light. But I just would see the act of her doing her makeup. I was intrigued by that. Aside of that, I remember she received her bachelor's degree in special education, I believe. So she got her bachelor's degree. We went to her graduation in Grand Rapids, and she went to the MAC counter to get her makeup professionally done right before graduation. She got it done. And I was like, oh my gosh, Ma, you look so pretty. And I believe I might have been like 4th, 5th grade around that time. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, granted, I feel like my mom is definitely attractive, but the makeup gave her such a different glow and such a it just transformed her so much. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So I really picked up on like the transformation of makeup. And that's what really drew me to it, because I'm like, you really can enhance your beauty. You can look like a different person if you want to.
It's not just external though, right? There's something that happens to the person internally, right? Yeah. Okay. Wow. So when you were younger, what did you see yourself being as an adult, profession wise?
Profession wise, I kind of see myself having authority. I'm not sure
like a judge or something, or
not a judge per se, but kind of like a teacher. I'm not sure if it would have been kids or adults, but like teaching something, mentoring something. I'm not sure. I couldn't really put my finger on the exact job, but like the authority of being a leader is something that I've always felt in my spirit as a child. I didn't really know exactly what role that would have been though.
Got you. Okay, so y'all transitioned from Detroit, went to Farmington Hills. Looking back at it in retrospect, because I'm sure that transition was tough in real time when it was happening. But when you look back on it, do you think it was for the better? Did it expose you to more things that better prepared you for the world?
Yes. So at that time, I was very disappointed in the decision that my parents made. I would cry every day after school. I think my brother was more receptive of it because he was a little younger. And plus, prior to us moving to Farmington, we also came out of private school for a couple of years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right. So he had an experience a longer time with diversity than I did. So once we did move out to Farmington, it was just like, oh, okay. But for me, I still had friends back in Detroit. I was on Facebook, connected with everyone, seeing everybody together still. I was so isolated out in the suburbs. So I just was very angry at that time. I feel like in retrospect now, it definitely was one of the best decisions that my parents could have made for me. It definitely opened my eyes up to a lot of things. Like me going out there already being interested in makeup, I would see so many girls at school with full faces of makeup on. Obviously, different cultures let their kids do different things. So I would see girls with like a full face of makeup. And I'm like, okay, this is really a real thing. When I was in Detroit, girls would more so just have lashes on, maybe their eyebrows done, but I would see nobody in school with makeup. Going to Farmington, people had makeup, they were creative, they had colorful hair, piercings. It just brought me to an artistic mindset, and I'm just like, these things are real. Like I don't just see it on TV.
Absolutely. When I graduated from University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, that's actually where I met my wife. I took a job that took me to India for 6 months first to train there. So this was my first time being outside of the country. That was my first time being on a plane.
Okay.
Right. And I can remember being at the airport and I'm getting ready to leave. And I looked back and saw my mother break down crying, because I had never left, you know. So I went to India and it was a extreme culture shock. I didn't like it at the time. And then later on in life, once I got into corporate, I realized how it benefited me. Because I think when you, like if you grow up in a situation where it's maybe all black people or where it's only one specific culture, and then by the time you get to the real world and you face adversity, you won't necessarily know how to adjust because you feel as though the world should capitulate to you rather than you figuring out a way to adapt and adjust. So I think like when I look back on it, it definitely was a net positive for me. So that's dope that you mentioned that, or you see it that way.
Yeah, definitely seen it that way. Also, I feel like uncomfortability, it grows you.
That's the only way. That's the only way. Yeah.
It grows you. So I definitely agree with you.
I never grew from things going my way or the way that I planned it to go. It was always like, right before we started, the TV falling. And it's like now I have to figure out how to remain calm and still do everything and not lose focus of what we're supposed to do in this interview. But it's those moments where I think the growth happens, right?
Yeah, agreed.
But so many people want to like run from that.
Yeah, that's very true. It's more of a routine or more of this is what I'm used to. Like I want it to be this way. But yeah, you're right. Uncomfortability promotes growth.
Can you think of something like the most uncomfortable situation that you've been in that you've experienced the most growth as a result of it?
I think that's probably number one. Another experience that has promoted growth for me was really graduating from high school and not realizing what I was going to do with my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So what happened during those years? Because that was a transition period where you were kind of in limbo, I take it, right?
So, being in school for so many years of your life, from 4 to 18, just about, it's kind of like that's your life. That's all you know. Wake up at 7, get ready for school by 8, you back home by 3 p.m. That's your life for over a decade. So I think hitting 18 and realizing like this was your life. Now what is next? Even in the midst of me being in school, my academics weren't really the best because I wasn't really interested in school. I didn't have a interest for a lot of the subjects. I didn't have an interest for the roads that others around me were taking after high school, such as going to college and doing these things and doing those things.
You didn't want to take the traditional route that everybody else was taking.
I didn't want the traditional route, so I kind of put school like in the back of my pocket. I didn't really have it. Wasn't in the front pocket.
Wasn't a priority for sure.
It wasn't really a priority. It was like, okay, let me get this done. I want to make my parents proud. I want to finish, put this behind me. But it's so much more to my life that I know it is, and I have to figure that part out. So being uncomfortably in a situation where it's like, okay, you're done with school. While I was in high school, I also had 2 jobs. My first job was Dairy Queen.
Wow.
And then I also worked at Forever 21.
Okay.
At 12 Oaks Mall. And the Dairy Queen was in Novi. 12 Oaks was in Novi too. So they were a couple miles away from each other. So I worked both of those jobs for a long time during school.
What about after school? You still work those jobs?
After school, I picked up a third job at a call center. Yes.
Yeah.
I was hustling because I knew you not going to school, sis. Like, what's tea? What are you about to do? Yeah. So I worked a couple jobs at once. And during that call center season of my life, I worked for Frito-Lay, actually. Frito-Lay call center. It's on East Big Beaver, down the street from Somerset Mall. Okay. So I worked there, and I got fired because my attendance was bad. I believe they gave you 12 strikes, 12 mistakes on attendance, whether it was not showing up at all or being tardy. Everything was up in that 12.
Was it because of the other 2-3 jobs you was working that,
that was just their rules.
That was
was just all employees.
I'm talking about all employees.
Yep, all employees. You had 12 strikes for attendance and you were out.
I got you.
So I would do Dairy Queen really part-time. I would do Forever 21. But I was also doing seasonal at Forever 21. So I kind of let Forever 21 fall by the wayside a little bit because I was just like, all right, I do seasonal, whatever. That's where the money at during the holiday season. Y'all need me, Black Friday, whatever. So on to the call center and Dairy Queen. Those are kind of the two. And the call center was just strict. It was like 11 to 7. Your whole entire day.
Very
so
rigid.
Wake up,
no flexibility at all.
Very rigid.
Right?
Plus, I'm driving from Farmington Hills to Troy, Michigan.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's a good hike twice a day. Really,
Definitely.
Yeah, really twice a day. So attendance was bad. I remember one day it was black ice on the freeway. I was on the freeway trying to get to work, slid on some black ice, and avoided from getting into an accident.
Okay.
But in my mind, I'm just like, I'm doing all of this to get all the way to Troy to do something I hate. I called off, and I believe that was my 12th strike, if I'm not mistaken. So that very next Monday, because this was a Friday, the very next Monday, I go into work and talk to my supervisor, and they pulled me in a conference room and basically fired me and was just like, yeah, due to attendance and this and the third. And I'm like, okay. And I felt a sense of relief. I wasn't sad. I didn't cry. I never even told my parents because they were happy that I found something that seemed like I had stability, something that would give me benefits and all of those things. So I didn't even tell them I got fired. They still thinking I'm leaving their house, driving to Troy.
Where was you going when you was leaving the house? Because you still was leaving the house,
So I would leave the house. I was just picking up more days at Dairy Queen. So I'm really going up the street to work. Y'all thinking I'm going all the way to Troy. Ma, you probably...
Mom is off camera right now, so yeah.
Ma, you just now finding out about this. Sorry. But yes, I would be lying and it just was like whatever. So I would still be going to Dairy Queen and I'm just like, I got to figure this out. This not it.
And at this point, you're not even making money doing makeup on the side or anything, are you?
I hadn't started makeup yet.
Oh, wow.
I was just doing my own makeup. I would do my mom's makeup if she would go out, my cousins, my aunties, if they would hang out. But I hadn't did a client yet. I hadn't did nothing. So that next holiday season at Forever 21, I went back, met a couple coworkers. And also with me working in the mall, I will always walk past the Mac counter in Macy's because I would park in the Macy's area to walk through the mall to get to Forever 21.
How old are you at this time?
At this time, I'm like 19. This is like year out of high school.
Okay.
And I've always wanted to work at Mac because it just was the pronoun thing to do as a makeup artist. Like a lot of our OGs have worked at Mac.
It's almost like college, right?
Exactly. You go to this place and you get in this position. So I just never had the courage at that time because I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just doing my makeup. Like, these people are wearing black outfits. They're coming in full face of makeup. They got the brush belt on.
Professional.
Professional. They're ready to go. Anybody, any complexion is approaching them and trusting that they know exactly what they will need. Mm-hmm. And I just wasn't there. So that was in the back of my mind. And then while I was at the register, cashing clients out, a lot of clients were like, oh, what do you have on your lip? I love your lip color. Who did your makeup? I love your blush. So, and I was like, I did my makeup. So that kind of helped me build the confidence of like, this is not just in your head. Like, you really do look good. You really do know exactly what you're doing. Like, get out of your head and give it a shot. So I would be on the internet buying more makeup, trying things out. And one night, one of my coworkers, she was a really deep brown skin complexion. She was just like, we're going out tonight and I want you to do my makeup. And I'm like, well, I don't have any experience doing your makeup. Like, I really want to give her a hard no. But I'm like, well, I did just order these new concealers. That was another thing. I couldn't really afford a lot of makeup for my kit. So I would buy LA Girl Pro Concealers. It was a pack of 18. This was before Amazon was a thing and Prime. I ordered them off eBay because when she told me, it was a week in advance. So I had time to get ready. So I'm just like, I don't know if I should. But I'm like, okay, I just ordered these concealers. Let me see what else I'll need in a week's time. So a week's time passed. They come over. I do their makeup. And it was really nice for my very first time. It was a nice makeup job, eyeshadow, lip color, all of that. And they loved it. I took it before and after. I put it on my Facebook. And I wasn't even charging it. I just wanted to put it out there because I was proud. Like, I cannot believe I did somebody's makeup that is like 6 shades darker than me. It looks nice. It looks perfect. They're happy. I'm happy. Like, let me put it out there. And
And this ain't your family. And, so if they are upset, then they'll tell you.
Exactly. No, this was like, and they was just like, oh my gosh. So at that point, I just was like, okay, let me start this. Let me keep practicing, keep posting, and see where it takes me. And after that, I started posting my prices. I started off at like $45 for a makeup job.
Wow.
A full face was $45 in my parents' basement, the school I went to high school in. Yes.
Just so I can get an understanding of like the difference between how much you was charging at that time versus like what's an average, I guess price for if somebody wanted you to do their makeup, what's the average price? If it's just a light beat, did I say that right, Bridget? Light beat? How much, would that be compared to that $45 that you was charging at that time?
So at that time, the prices ranged from me as a beginner. I think I was that low because I wanted people to come to me. But at that time, average was $60 to like $75 a face. Okay. Now we're looking at $100 to like $175, $200 roughly. So $100 difference, give or take, depending on, because California, they're charging $300.
Oh, because the cost of living, right?
Yeah, they're charging $300 per face. But here in Michigan, like I said, give or take $100 to like $175.
Right. But that's different if you like have to travel somewhere.
Yep. So a travel fee is more so like $200, depending on how far you have to go. I more so do travel off of the distance, the mileage from my studio to the location. I do it based off that. But yeah, those are the margins these days.
Okay, so now you're actually doing makeup for other people, like customers, right? You're still working at Forever 21.
I was still working at Forever 21. Call center was done. Dairy Queen also was done. But I wasn't making enough money to let Dairy Queen go. Yep. So I was like, okay, I want to replace Dairy Queen with something else. I got a job at Check and Go, Cash Advance Blast.
Dang, boy, she be working, boy. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's up. Dang, yeah, okay. Yes. You just listed off 7 jobs in the course of like 4 years.
Yeah, I had to get it done.
Yeah, you a hustler, man. That's what's up. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
So I got a job at Check and Go, and I remember being at work on a Friday at Check and Go. Clients blowing me up on Facebook. Dang. Hi, are you available today? Dang. It's me and my friend. Hi, are you available? It's my birthday. Are you available? And I'm just like, I'm here till 7. These people need to be done by 7.
Yeah.
So I just was like, okay, I was like, I got to figure this out. So I went home And what's crazy is that day I had an allergic reaction. My eczema and everything was really bad around that time. I think I missed that little detail of the story. Growing up in Detroit, around that time, I had really bad eczema, horrible eczema. I used to have dermatology trips once a week. It was really, really bad. And once I learned that makeup can cover things up, that also grew my interest for it too. So fast forward back to check and go. I had a really bad allergic reaction this day, had Benadryl, all of that. So I sent the picture to the manager and I let her know like, oh, I won't be in today. This was the following day. Oh, I won't be in today. I had a really bad allergic reaction. She was like, oh my gosh, hope you feel better. That was my last day. I just never went back.
Wow.
Because in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm missing out on so much
Money.
content, money,
Opportunities, yeah.
And this money is, I'm getting paid once a week, but I'm not really getting paid really much of nothing. It was minimum wage. And back then, minimum wage was shy of $8. You know what I mean? So I can get 45 per hour versus the 8 per hour. Why would I not? So that was another lie to my parents. They never had a clue.
Oh, Mom.
That I had stopped check and go. They didn't know I stopped check and go. So I'm literally trying to figure all of this out in secrecy. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. So while I'm doing makeup, I still was at Dairy Queen. Then I let Dairy Queen go, did check and go, and check and go left. Dairy Queen was holding on the longest. Dairy Queen held on the longest because at that point I was like, let me do part-time. Let me do during the week. I did notice that a lot of my clients wanted my services on the weekend.
Oh, okay.
So I would do Dairy Queen during the week. I would do them during the weekend. Yeah.
So Dairy Queen allowed you to be more flexible and to do the things that you love doing outside of work. Right?
Exactly.
I got you. Okay. And now I'm hearing, or at least I remember reviewing or researching that in 2015 you ended up leaving Forever 21.
So I left Forever 21. It was more of a seasonal part-time vibe, and I felt like working at the mall, parking, ripping and running it was just a lot. I just was over it. But I think that I enjoyed Forever 21's era because I was into fashion. I really loved getting dressed. At that time, I couldn't really afford to shop at certain stores. Forever 21, you can get a quick little 1-2, make it look like something. And I also got a store discount because I worked there. So I was like, perfect. I work at Forever 21. I can get my clothes at discounted prices. And I just wanted to be in a fashion space.
Yeah.
So it worked out.
Yeah, and see, that's another thing I think people don't know. Well, people who follow you know, is that not only are you really good with makeup, with like, you know, just beautifying people, but also with fashion, like a fashion connoisseur. I saw some of your videos where you just getting ready, like to go to an event or go out, and you know you're getting dressed, and these videos have garnered like, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of views. You know what I'm saying? So people tend to like what you put on. You know what I'm saying? So is that something that you want to dive more into in the future?
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. So I've been a makeup artist now for 10 years, and that has been my full identity. That has been my full identity from 19 till now. I think that since fashion has always been a thing and I've naturally done it, I never really dived into it. So I think now I have the confidence, and I also have confidence from others. A lot of people compliment me on my outfits. Some friends of mine ask me like, I'm going out of town. These are the locations I'm going to. Can you put me a cart together on Fashion Nova? Send it to me. What should I wear for this?
And you're not even charging for this.
I'm not even charging. I'm just like, people are coming to me. People DM me all the time like, oh, it's my birthday next month. Where did you get this birthday dress from? So I think just getting the reactions from people naturally has let me know like, okay, you can step into this room. Like, you don't have to be limited to beauty. You get one life. You can do whatever you want to do. So I think now is the time that I want to step into fashion and really embrace my talent that I have with that, because I feel like it's definitely an eye for things. So I'm definitely going to step into it a lot more.
So when did you jump straight? Because when you left Forever 21, was that your moment where you decided to jump fully into being an entrepreneur or an independent contractor and to try to grow that part of your, you know, your arsenal, I guess, right?
Yes. So after I left that, I'm just kind of like, okay, I got Dairy Queen. I can fall back on that. But once I started to see the money from makeup, I realized I need to do this full time. I need to be available 100% of my week for anybody who texts me or DM me. I didn't even have a booking site, website at that time or nothing. Whoever contacted me. I'm working at home, so I'm going to leave my room, freshen up, get ready, go downstairs and do makeup. So at that point,
So they was coming to your house.
they were coming to my house. They were coming to my house. I had no money for booth rent. And two, I just felt like maybe I should say I didn't really see it taking off. I didn't see that me working at home would be so overwhelming for my family, which it became. I didn't realize that. And it became overwhelming. Like, my dad would come home from work. People are parked all in the driveway. He has nowhere to park his car. My mom letting people in. People knocking on the door. I'm like, Ma, can you let her up? Can she sit on the step? There's nowhere else to sit in the basement.
Wow.
Can she sit on the step? And it really became something. And
more than what you thought it could be.
More than I thought, right. So I'm just hustling at home. I don't have no overhead. All I really had more so was my phone bill.
So it's all profit food. For you, pretty
all
much.
All profit. Phone and food. That was it. My dad was paying my car note, car insurance. I would re-up on makeup products. But I had no bills or nothing. So I'm just like, okay, I'm about to just trap at home. But once it got too busy and too overwhelming, I had to think about safety for myself, safety for my family.
Yeah.
I'm taking cash. So I have cash on me. So if you come to me at 8 p.m. and I've been working since 10, you know, I gotta be smart about this.
Yeah.
So I was
the fact that you was able to stay home, you know, because some people are so quick to leave at 18, and then you got some parents who are like forcing their kids out, and other cultures don't do that. So just shout out to your parents for allowing you to stay and hone your skills, and also stack your money, save up. You know what I'm saying?
And figure it out.
Because sometimes we can be so prideful or egotistical to the point where we're trying to prove something to everybody and say, okay, let me go out and get my own place, and I'm not necessarily ready. I'm comfortable here, and they're not forcing me out. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely comfortable. And where am I going to go?
Right.
That too.
A lot of cultures, a lot of times, the woman might not leave until she about to get married.
True.
Sometimes that happens.
That's very true. And sometimes the men too.
The men too. Yeah.
The men as well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
I definitely shout out to my parents for giving me the space of comfortability in order to grow, to define myself as a business person, businesswoman, and just blossom in a field that needed me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this is truly my calling, and I think I could have missed that mark going to school. I had aspirations to go to Clark, Atlanta. I wanted to be in Atlanta so bad, partying, clubbing, vibing, being a hot girl. I wanted that so bad at that time, but I feel like I could have missed this mark.
Yeah.
You know?
That's one thing, me and my wife, because, you know, we went to school, but, you know, with our kids, we want them to know, like, what it is you want to do before we just start spending money.
Investing.
For you to figure out at college.
Exactly.
Right? And now you done got all this debt. You graduate with a degree that won't necessarily bring you the lifestyle that you want.
Desire.
That's what happens with a lot of people. And then you still paying all that debt off, right? So I think that was good that you didn't just rush towards something like that, because you didn't accumulate unnecessary debt. Right?
Agree. And I knew that early on as well. I feel like once I dived into makeup, buying my own products, getting clients, my parents started to see like, okay, this is what she wants to do. It's not a lot of things she show interest in. She's going to make some money regardless, but this is what she's showing interest in. This is also what she's sticking to. And they bought me my first makeup chair. I literally was using
that's what's up.
The kitchen island chair to do my clients. So they got me my first makeup chair because they're like, okay, she really want to do this. So after the overload of clients at the house, I found the shop to be in. My booth rent was $75 a week, and my dad was like, "I'll pay your booth rent for the first 3 months."
Come on,
if you
man.
get
See,
this,
that's why daddies are so important.
Yeah.
But go ahead, keep going.
True.
Yeah.
If you get this business out my house, I'll pay your
I will pay
rent
you to leave. Yeah.
For
because
3
it was
months.
like you said, no parking spaces, and you in the kitchen. Somebody might want to come make a sandwich.
Thank
yeah,
you.
I got you.
Anything. It's just a lot. The bathroom. We just got anybody using the bathroom. It's some. It just was a lot. It was just a whole lot. So I found the shop to work in. I was there for a couple of months, and after I'm like, okay, it's time to leave home. It's time to really take this serious. It was growing pain because I would be also the way that my little makeup room was set up in my parents' basement. It was the cutest secluded area to where like it was almost perfect for me to be in there. I loved it. So the night before I left, the night before I went to the shop, I slept in that room. I slept in that room, and I was just praying and like thanking God. I was just like, thank you, God, for putting money in my pocket, for making a difference in these females' lives and their days and their events. And thanks for trusting me with this. Please take me further. And so that next day I took all of my stuff to that shop, and it was just like, it went up.
So your faith, that's always been important to you. Did that come from, your household?
It definitely came from my household. My mom has always been like super heavy into church. We used to go to church when I was a child. And even growing up, she would go. Sometimes if we wouldn't go, we would still watch her go. So like seeing her be this faithful through whatever is going on, whatever she's going through, just having her dedication to God really showed me like whether you're going or not, you have to have these conversations with God. You have to trust and you have to be grounded.
Yeah. That happened with me growing up too. And then I deviated from it. At some point I stopped believing in God or stopped questioning or started questioning God a lot more, I guess, or his existence. And then me and my wife ended up getting married. We had some, our first kid. And then I realized how much, how much I didn't know, how much I couldn't control. And it forced me to submit. But I thank my mother even to this day, because that foundation, if I didn't have that foundation, I wouldn't have known how to revert back to things that ended up getting me through some really tough times as an adult. Yeah. So there were certain things that happened beyond my control that brought me to my knees. And I think it's tough when people just try to go through life carrying the entire load. Like, of course, you got to pick up your own cross, but you don't want to run the risk of playing God, because the weight of that will crush you. And it feels good to just be able to say, okay, I can worry about this stuff because I can control it, but this stuff, I'm going to leave it
to God. Yeah. And I feel like even you saying that you commend your mom, I feel like having parents that model certain things to you, and even verbally, because my dad wasn't going to church as much as my mom, or sometimes at all. But on the way to church, when we would go, he would give us a kiss, like, make sure y'all stay in church. You know what I'm saying? Whether I'm going or not, make sure you get to heaven. He
still wanted you to know that it was important.
Yeah, it was important, whether I'm doing this or not. This is what needs to happen. Yeah. So I feel like just your parents being your role model is just super important.
And that's a good point, because it's like, you want your parents to teach you that, I can't get you into heaven.
Yeah, I got you here. I did half the work with God.
Right. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So, you ended up working at this shop 5 years after you started working. This was in 2015. So now you're going on your 11th year being in the beauty industry, right? 5 years later, you opened up your first studio. Yes. Right? So you always had this entrepreneurial state of mind. Was that always a part of the plan from the time you started working as a makeup artist professionally, or did you just stumble into that?
I think it came about. Back to the authority.
There we go. Okay.
Back to the authority role. Like, I've just always felt and seen that. And I think once I started makeup and I was paying booth rent weekly, I started to think like, well, if I'm paying you $75 a week, if I'm paying you $125 a week, if I'm paying you like, the prices were going up. And it's like, if I'm paying that, I can just pay for this space and work here. And I also can open my doors for somebody else who needs to work here.
Yeah. But not just makeup artists, people who do lashes, so on and so forth.
Just the aesthetic world. So COVID happened. I left the shop that I was at for a long time. COVID happened. I came back from COVID and I just was like, I'm going to open up my salon suite. I'm going to work here. I'm going to be independent. Because being in a salon was super fun. It was like a girl world. It was a vibe. But I felt like after so many years, I knew how I wanted things to be ran. I knew the independence that I wanted with growth. I feel like I also wanted to take people up under my wing as well. I wanted to work with more makeup artists and things like that. So got into my salon space. People were contacting me. Do you have any room? I just want to be here for a day, or I'm in town. Do you have a day rate? Things like that. So that's when I started to think like, okay, well, if I don't have too much room in my space, maybe I should open up a salon suite to where I can rent it out to people. Maybe if they want to only come in town for a day, or if somebody is open to weekly rent. I feel like me being able to take people up under my wing, me able to just exude the experience that I've gained from working with other people, working in a salon setting. And I also wanted this opportunity for a little more financial freedom. Because as much as entrepreneurship gives you that control with your money and your time, you can also be a slave to your own business.
Oh shoot, she dropping gems. Y'all write that down.
Yes.
Y'all,
Yes.
come on, wait, go ahead. I need you to expound on that. Yeah.
Yes, you can be a slave to your own business. So just as say you work at McDonald's, you clocking in, you there 12 hours a day, whatever. You have a business, you have a brand. My brand is GlamByDay, and if I'm doing clients all day, every day, I'm slaving to get the money. If I'm not at work, I'm not getting paid. So that's the slavery. So I felt like,
Wow.
yes, I felt like if I have salon suites and somebody paying me weekly, I'm able to profit. I'm going to pay the bill there and I'm going to profit. If I don't want to do clients, I don't have to. If I want to take a vacation, I'm still getting some money. So I found that that was a way for me to have a little bit more financial freedom, even though I'm making my own schedule. I'm closing my books off if I want to, if I got something coming up. But in hindsight, without doing a client, no money is being made.
Yeah. Wow.
And a lot of beauty service providers, they don't think ahead. They don't think ahead. It's kind of like, oh, okay, this is fast money. This is super fast money. You don't think about when the pandemic happened. I was so scared.
Yeah, how did that affect you? Because, I mean, clearly, you can't be face to face with people the same way
At
because
all.
people were afraid of
At
what could
all.
happen, right?
Exactly.
But
At all.
but you survived it.
Yes.
Wow.
So really with COVID, it really opened my eyes to like, what if you never do a client again? What if people don't even have money to pay you?
Because
Makeup
of the economy.
is not a necessity.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Makeup is not a hairstyle. It's not a haircut. It's not a manicure, a pedicure. Like, makeup is a luxury service.
Yeah.
You don't need it. You can go without it. So all I'm thinking is, what if people, number one, don't ever want to be face to face again with nothing? Because we literally had plastic shields up for years at nail salons and things like that. And not only that, what if people don't have the money? A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people passed away, experienced deaths. They didn't bounce out of depression. So it just was a lot of like, the economy is like really was tearing a lot of things apart. So even in those times, I had faith that things would salvage themselves and be back to normal. But I just had to be patient. It took months for our governor to release the mandate of no mask or physical contact. So I would still wear a mask to work. It was to the point I had like a little hospital shield on my face. I would wear a mask. And then I also made sure I wore gloves. And what was also crazy is even during COVID, people were still texting me for makeup appointments.
Whoa. They say I'm gonna look good.
They said I'm outside. I'm outside. They got their unemployment. They was outside. So,
or they was getting those checks too, like the stimulus checks.
Stimulus and unemployment. They was outside. They wanted their makeup done. I was not doing makeup until she released the mandate. I was just like, it's a no, because I have asthma. So that was one of the illnesses that you were more high risk to pass away with having COVID.
Exactly.
I didn't want to put myself in that situation for $1. But it definitely opened my eyes to like, there's so many different avenues and streams of income.
It made you diversify.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the beauty industry.
Wow. And you brought up something about not being a slave to your work. And what comes to mind with that, just from a biblical standpoint, is not worshiping or prioritizing anything over God. Like how easy it is for something else to become your God. It could be your job. It could be your kids. It can be your spouse. Anything that impedes your ability to rest in him. You know what I'm saying? And I think that makes perfect sense. I had a friend of mine who just quit her job, and she said it was one of the best decisions she ever made
in her life.
Yeah, she was afraid to do it, but then when she did it, now she's going to church every Sunday. She's able to really focus on God and be reflective in ways that she wasn't able to. So it's so easy for something to become our God, for us to worship something.
Exactly.
And worshiping is just not like, oh, I love something so much. It's also the thing that causes us the most anxiety and stress.
Exactly.
So I think making sure that we put things in their proper place and making sure that our priority list is correct and that God comes first is a good long-term strategy.
It's definitely, yes. And then also to your point, I think that I had to learn that the hard way as well. Like, definitely didn't have time to go to church. I would even be doing makeup on Thanksgiving half the day. I would do like morning clients to afternoon. Then I would make sure I'm available to go to meet my family at dinner. So I think I learned it in a way of like, is this what you want to do for the rest of your career? Do you want to blood, sweat, and tears it? Or do you want to pivot? You know, so I feel like the salon suites was a great opportunity for me to open that door to be able to have free time off. Like you said, take Sundays off, holiday time, block off certain people's birthdays. I would be working to the drip drop in of somebody's birthday plan. I would have to rush, hurry up and get ready, run to... You know, so I feel like just prioritizing it and setting it up, having a system is going to help you feel like, okay, I'm not just a chicken with my head cut off, even though I'm an entrepreneur.
Wow. Man, so 2024, I think this was March, you decided to move to... Did you move to Houston or somewhere?
Yes, I did move to Houston for some time. Yes, I did.
It wasn't really some time. It was about, what, like a year or something, right?
It was a quick jump, skip, and a hop.
What happened? Or did you enjoy your time out there? My wife's twin sister lived out there for a minute, so we went to visit them a couple of times. We liked the food was good and stuff like that. But what was your experience there?
So Houston was nice. Prior to living there for a year, I had went there for a friend's birthday, probably like 3 years before. Super hot, nice. The food is good. I feel like Houston is super worldly. And what I mean by worldly, not diverse like high school, but worldly in a way of like, it's just so many walks of life out there. You know, it's predominantly Hispanics. It's very touristy. You have some of everybody out there. It was just super worldly and it was so big. I had never had a living experience like that because I feel like Michigan is very intimate. It's very small. Detroit is small enough to where I feel like, okay, it's chill, it's relaxed. But Houston is like go, go, go. It's a super fast city. It's big. Traffic was insane. No matter what day of week it was. No matter, it was a lot. I definitely experienced, I experienced some loneliness out there. I think that once I got out there, I started to realize that maybe I shouldn't have left. You know,
Wow.
I think
how long did it take for you to realize that after moving there? Like how many months?
I think so. I got out there January 2024.
Oh, it was January.
It was January around my birthday.
Gotcha.
So I think probably around May-ish, it was a tornado out there. So it was a tornado. And it was a real tornado. It wasn't like the notifications come to your phone and it's a joke.
Nothing happens. No. Yeah, this was real.
This was real deal. TV's going off. Everything's going off. So the tornado and then also it was a hurricane 2 months later. So while I'm out there, I'm just like, I don't know if this for me. Like, it's nice, but it's just a lot going on. Then a lot of people out there were like, oh, this haven't happened in 6 years, 7 years. And like, this doesn't happen. So in my mind, I'm just like, am I just doing too much? I don't know. But I experienced loneliness. I feel like being away from friends and family started to take a toll. And then also on a business standpoint, I just felt like it was so big. I was challenged by navigating it. I was super challenged. But my idea with the salon suite came from being in Houston. A lot of people move out there. They start salon suites. They go into a building of like maybe 20 to 30 floors. They deck out a whole floor, put walls up, make suites, post them, and that's just what it is. So I was very inspired by a lot of beauty professionals out there that was doing that. So in my mind, I kind of put a plan together of like, okay, if Houston don't work out, if I do want to come home, what else do I want to do besides makeup? I know my clients miss me or whatever the case is, but like, it's time to pivot. Another thing too, while I was out there, I feel like God was just more so talking to me along the lines of, you looked at something that was broken that didn't really need to be fixed. You know what I'm saying?
Dang, hold on.
That's a bar.
It is a bar because oftentimes we do things according to our plan as opposed to waiting for him to act on stuff.
To see what's going on. Thank you.
I get what you're saying. And then you when you got out there and then all these storms happening.
It's a lot going on.
It reminded me of the story. What is it? I think it's Jonah, in a well where, he ended up, he was on this boat. or ship, and God asked him to do something. I guess he was supposed to go to this other city and tell them to get their act together before God destroyed the city. So he didn't want to do it because he's like, man, I ain't them my enemies over there, and you want me to go give them bad news?
Yeah.
So he gets on this ship, and then the storm happens, and everybody on the boat was like, well, something had to happen. Somebody disappointed God or something, because this storm shouldn't be occurring like this. This never happens, right? So, of course, Jonah ended up raising his hand and saying, yeah, it was me. God asked me to do this. Go to this city, tell them the truth about getting their act together, this, that, and the third, and I didn't do it, So they threw him off the boat into the mouth of the whale, right? But that's kind of what it reminded me of, because it's like, was this really the right move if all of this stuff started happening? And then these people here in Houston are like, man, you need to go back to where you came from.
Yeah.
Because all these tornadoes wouldn't happen. You get my point. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. But yeah, that's a very great story to symbolize her with. But that's kind of how I felt. I felt like all roads were leading back to Michigan. And it was just it's a lot of different series of events other than the storms. I lost a friend in February. So I came home.
Of 2024.
25.
25.
So I had,
Okay.
It had touched a year. It had touched a year.
Okay.
So I came home for a funeral, and while I was home this time, because I had came back and forth, so it wasn't like, oh, you ain't been home since you moved, but this time was just very different. Obviously, it was for the loss of somebody, so it was just very like emotional.
Man, I'm so sorry to hear about that.
Thank you. But I just was like, I don't know. I don't think I want to go back. I don't know how I'm feeling. Like, I don't know. So I stayed a month. I shopped around for like apartments. I knew I wanted to live downtown Detroit so bad. Even since I was a kid, I just was always obsessed with downtown. But how it is now is even better. So I would shop around for apartments and just ponder and see, like, what do I want to do? So then fast forward to the sibling thing. My brother let me know that he was expecting a baby with his high school sweetheart. And side note, they lived in Vegas for 8 years.
Whoa. Yeah.
So they moved around 2020.
Wow.
Around like 18, 19, but like cold turkey 2020, they didn't come back. So when he let me know he was expecting, I was just like, okay, I was happy. And he was like, well, that's not the best news about it. I'm like, well, what's the best news? You having twins or something? And he was like, no, we moving back home. And I'm like, okay. And for me, like, given that me and my brother were best friends, him leaving for all of that time, it was hard. We would go to Vegas all the time to visit. They would come here sometimes, but it's literally nothing like pulling up on your brother, your sister, spending time bonding as family. Like, it's nothing like it.
My mother told me how tough it was when I was away
for those 6 months in India.
Well, not even that, because I went to Arizona after that for like 18 months.
Okay.
And then California. So I was in California from 2009 to 2018.
Oh, so it was a while.
So there were some holidays that I didn't come home, and I didn't know how much it hurt my mother until later.
Until she talked about it, or until she just sat there and was able to embrace you being in her face, like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe we've been missing out on moments like these.
But every time she would come visit, and mind you, my mother's aging beautifully, but I felt like I was missing so much time, because the differences, even though she looks better with age, the differences were more drastic every time I saw her. And I said, I want to be back home to the point to where I don't even notice people aging, because I'm seeing them often.
Literally.
Yeah.
But I feel you on that. That time will give you that reality check. And that's how I felt too. I felt like our family wasn't really the same once my brother moved away. I'm just like, all right.
Holidays wasn't the same, you know what I'm saying?
Holidays wasn't the same. Even just us having our venting sessions in the car. Like, we would sit in the car and just talk. We can yap. We would sit in the car, talk late at night. Like, it just was different. So once that came, I was like, of course, I want to be an active auntie. I don't have any nieces or nephews. This is my mom's first grandchild. I want to be here for those moments for her. I want to embrace all of the love, and I just want to be here. There's no point for me not to be here. So I was obedient to God. Like I said, everything that kind of happened gave me the notion that this is where I should be.
You had all the signs.
So I had all the signs, and I'm just like, a year was enough. And I'm also the type of person that I thrive off experience. I feel like what I learned and took from Houston, I applied it when I got back home. It was an experience. I can also say I've done it And I think that's also what life is about.
Yes.
You know, like just staying confined into a bubble and not seeing anything is just not really, you know, it's just not the way of life. So I'm glad I was able to experience
Man, I'm glad
it.
you were able to come back too, because you hit the ground running and you had that time to figure things out. Like you said, you came back home and then you just stayed for an extra month or something like that. And you started looking for apartments. You had I guess you had the freedom to even do that. The financial freedom, the support system with respect to your family supporting your decision. So that's dope, man. Now, this is what I want to do, right? Because I'm going to put you to the test. I'm going to do something I don't never do. So hold on, y'all.
Okay.
Okay, we about to see how good. Because I already know how great you are, right? But I want you to walk me through some of these looks because I don't know anything about makeup. Obviously, I just know what looks good, right?
Yeah.
So we gonna start with you. My wife really liked this look. So can you walk us through what's going on here, like the process, and you know, just walk us through this whole look.
So this was my rollout photo shoot for the launch, the in-house makeup artist launch at Q11 when I started back in July. It's almost a year now. That's kind of crazy. And I decided to go for I just wanted to go for a bossy makeup artist look. I didn't want to give too much of like, oh, here's my brushes, here's my kit. Like, I just want to sit in this chair. I want y'all to see me with one brush. I wanted to wear a red lip just to give some color. I'm very neutral. I have a very neutral aesthetic. My entire house is cream and white. Like, I love neutral vibes. But I wanted to add a little bit of color. And I decided to go for a suit look, like a cute suit look. A lot of times people like the oversized look, but I wanted a more snatch look. So I did the capri pants and I did a crop blazer. But I love how this picture came out. This picture is actually in Q11. Like, soon as you see my suite, is right there on the wall. That's the picture I chose too. So that's crazy. That's the picture that you guys brought up.
Okay, so describe what you did with the lips. That's the part that also popped out too.
So I wanted to go for a matte red lip. I feel like a matte red is either hit or miss. So some people love it, some people hate it. The older I've gotten, I appreciate the red lip, the bold lip. When I was younger, I wanted to do pink glossy lips all the time, but I feel like it just gives a very grown, sophisticated look.
Wow. Okay, we going to the next look, y'all. Hold on. This one right here was cold.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, walk us through this right here.
So ancient.
I know, but this stood out.
No, but you won't believe this photo was taken in 2016.
What?
So this was about a year into doing makeup. A year into doing makeup. Oh my gosh. So this model, she's actually like a really big mainstream model now. She's from here. Her name is LaPortier.
Oh, so you caught her, you got with her before everybody else?
Before anything happened, yes. Before any agencies or anything. But a photographer, one of my homegirls, her name is Aisha. I worked with her closely around that time. And that's also why I feel like being obedient and just trusting God's timing and really homing into his plan, because me working at Q11 now in 2026 is so sacred to me, because when I first started doing makeup, I worked with a photographer.
Shout out to Q11 Photography. Yep.
Yeah, shout out to Q11. I worked close with 2 photographers back then to build my clientele, to get me out there. I would drive literally downtown Detroit. I would do clients. I believe because he was like, what is your race? And I was like, $45. He was like, all right, I'll give you a little bit more because I know you driving here all the time. But Aisha worked closely with this photographer, and she had this idea from Pinterest, which is this exact photo with the iguana. And she showed me the picture. She like, I feel like you can do this. And I'm like, you think? I don't think I can do this. I do soft glam makeup. I don't do editorial looks. I don't even know how to make these eyebrows white. Like, I don't know. But I had everything in my kit. So she was like, well, she helped me a little bit too. She was just like, well, just add the eyeliner, put some white powder on top. So we just kept packing it on. And since I specialize in very soft makeup, she really pushed me with this. Because even after I did it kind of soft and cute, she like, no, pack it on, because once we take these photos, it's going to wash a little bit of the makeup out. So you have to really lay it on. Don't be scared.
That's another example of like an opportunity that helped you to grow though. Because you could have said no no. You could have said, hey, I ain't comfortable with this. And it took some humility to actually take direction from her.
It did. And I was scared. I'm just like, I hope this doesn't, I don't know if people gonna like this. But it actually went viral. It went viral. This is when Facebook was like
the main social media thing.
The main platform. And it went viral on Facebook. And to this day, the image is just, it gives me, this could have been an image on America's Next Top Model.
Yeah.
You know, when they had to, model this and model this and do this look and do that look. This is a look I can see being on the show. Like, this is
after only 1 year.
After 1 year, we did this.
When I looked at, your reviews on the Q11 Photography website, like, the thing that everybody is saying is, number one, how professional you are, how clean you are, which I think makes a huge difference. How fast. They talk about your ability to take direction. So you don't go in with your idea of how you want people to look. You hear them out. They might show you a picture. They'll tell you what colors that they're wearing, and you incorporate that into the look, right? So it's like you're creating this as you go along versus having this set way of doing something. It's like really, you're really an artist.
Yes. I think that I'm very particular on how I like things, my hair, my makeup, outfit. And I feel like you may get a client that has never worn makeup before. So she may not want blush. She may not want a bold red lip. So I feel like tailoring what you're doing to your client will form that comfortability with them. And they feel like, okay, Daylay gave me what I wanted, not what she wanted me to have.
But you got to be good to do that, though.
That's true. Thank you.
That's crazy, man. Okay. We going to the next one. Here we go.
This story.
First off, tell us how, because Simone Biles, Olympic gold medalist, it's just not a person in America or even worldwide who don't know who she is, right? So how did that happen?
So the story is so spiritual to me because she found me on Instagram. She is married to a football player who plays for the Chicago Bears, and they were playing the Detroit Lions.
Monday Night Football.
Yes, Monday Night Football, September 14th. She wrote me on my makeup page probably a month prior to that. She DM'd me, but since I wasn't following her, she was on the request side of my DMs. So I didn't see it for 3 days, almost 3 days. And you know how Jesus rose on the third day? On that third day, she wrote me Wednesday at like 10 a.m. I wrote her back around like Friday. When I seen the message, I was on the phone with my mom, just chilling in between clients, eating some snacks, waiting on my next client to get there. I'm just casually scrolling through my messages, and I see Simone Biles with a blue check. I click it.
This is crazy, man. This is crazy.
I'm like, oh my gosh, heart immediately dropped.
Yeah.
But I'm like, let me relax. Let me open the message because when did she send this? So when I looked at it, she sent it a couple days prior. So she was like, hi, I'm interested in your travel services for makeup. But she didn't say when. She didn't say where. She just gave a little 1-2.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Ma, oh my God. So she like, what? You lying? I'm like, I'm not lying. I'm like, I'm going to call you back. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what should I say? Is it too late? I missed this. I was beating myself up bad. The rest of my day was terrible. I felt horrible. So I went to the car. I wrote her back. I was like, hi, I'm so sorry. I'm just now seeing your message. It was on the request side. Yes, I'm available. What date and time? So I prayed about it. I'm just like, oh my gosh. This was around 2:45. I'm at work going through it internally. Internally going through it.
Yeah.
So I finally get off. I tell a couple people about it, and they like, that's fire. And I'm like, yeah, but is she gonna write back? Like, we celebrating a win that ain't happened yet.
It ain't happened yet. Yeah.
So that night, later on that night, around like 10 p.m., she wrote me back. And she was like, hey, love, yes, I'm still interested.
Hey, love?
Yes, super personable.
Come on.
She like, hey, love, yes, I'm interested. I'll hit you with details soon. My husband has a game there September 14th, so I'll need you that morning. Like, I'll be in contact for details.
She talking to you like y'all been knowing each other for years.
Yes. So when she wrote me back, I said, yes, I can sleep tonight. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can sleep tonight. I was so nervous, so scared. So after that, it gave me weeks to prepare, weeks to get ready. I watched her documentary for the second time. I watched it a couple years ago.
Dang. So Hold on. So you was like researching her before she came to you.
I'm like, I
Wow.
want to see
Okay.
how she wears her makeup.
Wow.
I want to see what her personality is like. I want to see how she converses with people around her that service her.
Because that's a big part of what you do too.
Yes,
Is it's
customer
almost
service.
like it's almost like being a therapist to a degree. They tell you
Yes.
their problems and all of that type of stuff. So you
Yes.
want to know how to interact with them and make them feel comfortable.
Thank you. How to interact with them as well. And I also feel like going back to my hustling job stage, I feel like all of those customer service jobs prepared me for handling clients.
Come on. See, at that time, you like, why am I working here? Come on, man. That's how it all. That's a guy
Thank
be
you.
knowing it all come together.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let me watch the documentary again. Let me really hone in, because the first time I watched it, it was new. Everybody was talking about it. But this time it was intent. It was like, I got intent with watching this. I have to really look at some things. I have to take notes. So I watched her documentary again. So by the time she got to Detroit and I did her makeup, I already knew she wanted a natural look. I already knew I already knew how she wanted to look based off her Instagram, based off of the documentary, and I was prepared.
Wow. All right. So go through this look though. This is more of a what would you call this? This is soft glam.
Definitely soft glam.
Okay.
So really more so brownish blush eyeshadow. This is a look that a lot of people request. Almost all of my clients request a soft look, brown eyeshadow. She was wearing a sporty look this day, obviously, because she was going to the football game. So she didn't want anything too glamorous. We did kind of like a mauvey lip to tie in with the blush and bronzer on her forehead. But it was just a very soft look.
Oh yeah, I'm sure his teammates was like, "Oh man, you got you a good one. You got you a
She
good
the
one."
one.
Yeah.
She's the
After
one.
seeing this look for sure.
Yeah, she's the one. So after I did her makeup, because I traveled for her twice after this.
Yes.
After I did her makeup this time.
Oh, so what do you call it? Repeating customer, right?
Yes.
Wow.
So after I finished her makeup, she was like, "Do you travel?" It was just that question. Do you travel? And I was like, "Yes." So couple hours into the game, she's texting me. I love my makeup. She's sending me pictures.
She said you slayed her face and she's obsessed with it.
Yes.
Wow. Come on, man.
I love my
get no
makeup.
better than that.
I just sent my mom these pics. Are you available to come to DC in 2 weeks?
Oh, right. You went to DC. Right.
Yes.
Yep.
I went to DC to do her makeup 2 weeks later. Then after DC, I went to Baltimore. I think that was that following weekend.
Come on, man.
So she literally locked me in that day. I couldn't believe it.
That's and the fact that, because sometimes you work on people and you won't hear from them after that.
Yeah,
But the fact that she, as busy as she is,
Agreed.
took the time out to let you know, like, I love this.
Agreed. And another thing too, she discovered me through her Chicago, which is her home base, her second home base, because they live in Houston, but they also live in Chicago. And her Chicago makeup artist already followed me on Instagram, been following me for years. So I was like, how did you discover me? How did you find my page? She was like, oh, well, my Chicago makeup artist already follows you. So I figured that.
Wow. And you would think there would be more like competition going on in the makeup industry, but this person actually threw you an alley-oop. They gave you an assist.
Thank
wow,
you.
That's
so
dope.
just sticking
Shout out to them. Yeah.
So just sticking together in the beauty industry, you never know. Even with K. Michelle, another makeup artist here in Detroit, passed me K. Michelle because she was pregnant on maternity leave. So she contacted me the day of, hey, can you do K. Michelle? I had an emergency, whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it came from another makeup artist.
Yeah,
so you just never know who follows you. You never know where relationships can take you to different heights with just having this sisterhood and having great work too, because I feel like she wouldn't have followed me if she didn't admire my work.
Wow.
You know?
Wow. And the thing is that I only listed a few celebrities. I mean, there's what's the young lady name? I think PJ, she does music.
Yes,
also,
I did do PJ.
I think somebody named Marie Quinn, I believe.
Yeah, so that was the first WAG I did. That was the first football player wife that I did.
Wow.
She was actually my very first. What's crazy is she lives in Houston. So first her husband played for the Texans. He got traded to the Lions, and then they went back to Houston. So while I was in Houston, I spent time with her. I did her makeup. I seen her. And for her to see me now as a woman versus she met me as a girl in like 2015, 2016, she was just like, I'm just so proud of you. Like, I met you in that era where I was doing makeup at that photography studio downtown, and she found me on Instagram. So she found me in a place where I didn't really have a shop home yet. I was just doing makeup. I would travel to her house every Sunday on game day to do her makeup in the morning before they left out. Yes.
Wow. Also, light skinned Keisha. So
Yes,
it's a bunch of
yes, I
people that's
love
on the
Keisha.
list. Is there a difference when you do makeup for these people? Obviously, the preparation is different, right? I know you treat every client the same in terms of the quality, and you give it your all. But there has to be a difference when you're preparing to do makeup for somebody like Simone Biles. It's like, okay, I can't mess this up because this
Right.
person gonna post this. It's gonna go out to the world.
It's gonna be a whole thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think the different measures that I take with celebrity-based clients is just more so to try to fill them out. They may not have as much dialogue than a regular client of mine. Like a client of mine will come in, we'll converse, we'll talk,
casual.
more
Yep.
casual. But I feel like with these type of people, they do have a lot going on under a lot of stress, especially depending on what they're getting their makeup done for. So I kind of go in, fill out if we're going to have dialogue. If I'm just going to do your makeup, we're going to listen to music. I like to go in and ask, like, do you guys have a music preference? Do you want to listen to anything? Would you like silence? Just more so cater the application to how they want to feel and how they want to look. I also ask all of my clients in general, like, do you have an inspiration photo? How you want your makeup to be done? My natural may not be your natural. So I love to get photos. I think another thing too is to just double check as well when I'm finished. I make sure I ask, is there anything you want me to change? Is there anything you want me to fix? Can I photograph you? Some people like to edit their photos a certain type of way. They don't want raw photos on social media because people in the comments saying this and saying that. So I feel like just being a little bit more delicate because they are going through real life things with social media and things like that. So I just try to be mindful of just those things.
Wow, man. Wow. So, I mean, I got so much from your story. And the thing that stands out to me the most is really just staying busy. Like, because you didn't have these plans figured out at a young, like you didn't know what you wanted to do. You just
Agreed.
stayed busy and you stumbled on your path, into your path or whatever, or where you were supposed to land. But so many people think that the best way to handle things when they don't know what to do is just inactivity, is to just not do anything,
At
not
all.
to move, because sometimes not knowing what comes next can have a debilitating effect on you.
Yeah,
exactly.
Mentally too. It can shut you down.
But the fact that you kept moving, right, says a lot. Because if you hadn't, you wouldn't have fell into your passion and you wouldn't be this staple in the beauty industry that you are today. So shout out to you for that, man.
Thank you.
What's the future plans? I mean,
Thank
because now you
you.
got 2 salon suites, right? Where do you see yourself at in the next 5 years, right? What are some of your future plans aside from fashion? Because we talked about that.
Yeah, definitely fashion is on there. So I also have a beauty line coming out.
Cosmetic Day.
Cosmetic, yeah.
Come on
That's
now.
definitely
Yeah,
being
yeah.
revamped. We have a different name. We have different vibes coming this time around. So definitely that.
Or is
More
it Day
salon.
Cosmetics? Did I say it right?
It was Day Cosmetics, but it's going to be something else now. Still
Gotcha.
going to be
Okay.
Day in front.
Got you.
Yeah, so that's something that I'm working on. Definitely more salon suites. I definitely want to maybe take my talents over east. I have 2 that's west, so I feel like maybe going east. I have a new beauty service that I'm going to be starting this summer as well. So you guys may want to stay tuned for that. If you ever got your makeup done by me, or if you want to get your makeup done by me, or if you just like my work in general, this new beauty service you're going to really love. So
And you also
That's coming up.
do you teach classes on how to do it?
yes.
Yeah.
So mentorship. So yes, I have a lot of girls that reach out to me like, how do I get more clientele? How do I this? How do I that? So makeup mentorship is definitely coming. I think given that I'm so seasoned in the beauty industry, I feel like it's time to help. It's time to guide. And I feel like I just have a lot to offer. I have a lot to offer, and I've experienced a lot. And people make a lot of mistakes when it's their first rodeo. I feel like I didn't really have too many people to go to for advice or mentorship. It isn't a lot of entrepreneurs in my family either. So a lot of things that I went through, it just was me. I had to figure it out. I had to pivot. And like you said, just not stopping your move is going to help you get through those mistakes. So definitely mentorship as well. And yeah, more content.
So where can people find you? You can look into this camera and tell them.
Okay, so people can find me on my personal page at Daylay.Twanae on Instagram, and people can find me in the makeup space at Q11 _ GlamByDay.
All right, y'all. This conversation was amazing. I learned a lot. Until next time, Conversations with TinBridge. Peace.